All right, second graders, we are going to be making a collage with various colors of scrap construction paper. And we are going to have all of these supplies available for you at the black table. And I want you to take note of how neat and tidy it is. The trays should be this neat and tidy at the end of class. All right, the goal of today's collage is going to be to take rectangle scraps or square scraps and use free cutting to make different shapes and create a design without having any leftover little pieces. So we should not have any tiny pieces left over to recycle at the end of class. We're going to use everything we cut today. I have pre-selected the pieces that I want. I have more sitting here than you'll have at your space. I don't want you to have more than 4 pieces at a time, just so that everybody gets a chance to get through the line. You're going to have 2 glue sticks at your table space to share with everybody at your table, because I only have 12 glue sticks. So you're going to take the shapes that you have, and you can either leave some of them whole or choose to cut them into different shapes. But everything you cut, you are going to use all the leftover pieces. So if you choose to cut this blue piece into a circle, you're not drawing one first. You're just going to go ahead and cut. I cut a little start spot. I'm going to cut around. Notice I have not turned my scissors. I am only turning my paper, and I'm not taking any little scraps off. And that piece that I cut off, I'm going to use later. So if I'm going to start gluing, I just want to leave this pink one whole. And I'm going to make a box around the edge. Then I'm going to put a diagonal just to make sure the middle sticks down. I'm going to hold it down and smooth it out. Okay, and then I can glue other things to it if I want, or I can go to a different spot and I can glue that circle right on if I want to. If I want to make triangles, I'm going to turn my square. It was a square. I'm going to turn it like a diamond, and I can cut from corner to corner. And then I have 2 triangles, kind of like a grilled cheese sandwich. But I didn't make any extra scraps doing that. If I want a skinnier triangle, maybe I take a rectangle piece and I can cut from the corner of the rectangle, and I can cut to the middle on the other side, and then I would do the same on the other corner. And now I have 3 triangles that I can use, but I'm going to use all of the pieces I make today. So once I have my pieces cut out that I want, I can start gluing. If you want to start gluing beforehand, that's fine too. We do want to try to fill all of our white space, so leaving some of those squares whole is probably a good idea. And you can glue them down wherever you want. You don't have to lay them down in order, but you can if you want to. Square, then a diagonal. Quickly put my piece down. Glue stick dries very quickly, so if your piece doesn't stick, just try adding a little bit more glue. So some of those triangles that I cut out, I can decide how I want to lay them out. If I want to lay them over top of a shape that I just made, they kind of make an hourglass if I put them point to point. If I turn them back to back, they just kind of make a diamond, but then what's kind of the point of having cut them? So I like to put them point to point. I can choose to put them in the white space. I can choose to put them on my blue space, and I think that's where I want them. So I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on and glue them down. This is a project that's going to be finished today, so as far as you get today is as far as it's going to get. So by the end of class, please just put your name on the back and put it in the class box. Glue stick does not take very long to dry, so you don't have to wait for it to dry by putting it on the drying rack. So I took a smaller square and I am tipping it like a diamond. And I'm gonna put it on top of my other squares because I like that shape. Okay, but I said that I also have to be using these scraps as well. So I'm actually going to put that circle right on top of one of my other squares. I wouldn't want to put it on top of this one because then I would just lose my circle. So I'm going to put it right on top of this one, I think. So I'm just going to flip it over. I don't want to put my glue on my picture because it'll dry all yucky and look like slugs were crawling on it. So I'm going to put this right on there, and it's going to just look like a whole piece. Just line my scrap right back up together. And I made these 3 other triangles before, so I can decide how I want to lay those out. If I don't like it, I haven't glued them down yet, so I can change my mind later. I'm going to take this black piece and I'm going to go corner to corner, similar to my square, but then that makes 2 skinnier triangles. And I'm gonna lay some of my pieces out before I decide for sure where I want them. And I can overlap things and change my mind before I glue things down. So I'm gonna put this one right here, but I'm gonna overlap this orange one on top of it. Oops, I didn't hold that down long enough. I'm going to put this other little skinny orange one facing the opposite direction. Put next to it. And I think I like this one. I think I like it there. So really I'm just cutting my scraps and making sure that I don't make little tiny bits and pieces. Kind of want to put some of these on here. I'm going to kind of measure what I want and trim them. And by the end of class, you will have a super fun, very colorful art project with little to no mess, because you have used all of your scraps.